What's up, boys? Got some more player props for you guys in today's video. So, got a short 3-game slate, but there's actually a pretty couple of good options today for the 3-game slate. So, we're going to go ahead and hop into some of these. Disregard it saying it starts in 60 minutes. That is not true. This game is starting in like 3 hours or so. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop into this, though. It's compiled on all websites, but I definitely prefer PrizePicks. Definitely check it out. Link is in my description. Use code DOMG when you guys sign up. You make your first deposit up to $100. So if you guys deposit $50, they'll match it. They'll give you guys $100. So pretty sweet deal right there for PrizePicks. That link is in the description. Definitely use my code DOMG when you guys sign up. A couple of you guys have already done that. Seriously, do appreciate you guys. And with that being said, Patreon as well. If you guys are interested, $10 a month. Sign up on Patreon. That link is in the description to give you guys my daily picks for NFL, NBA, or whatever that is. Whatever sport I'm doing, you guys will get those picks. You guys will also get added into a premium group chat with all the other Patreon members. So that's pretty sweet as well. And talking about Discord here, there's also free Discord. Go ahead and join that. You can talk about many different stuff. I got a bunch of tabs in there for you guys for NBA, NFL, and whatever else. So yeah, definitely join that as well. So the link's in the description. Promo code for PrizePicks, definitely use that. Patreon and the Discord, all in the description. So definitely use those. But with that being said, let's go and hop straight into this, man. But first off, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe and turn on post notifications. Those two things would help me out. And let's go ahead and hop straight into this, man. So we got 5 different props for you guys today over on PrizePicks. But let's go ahead and hop into this. So we're going to start with points here. I have a points one. I got a rebounds, 2 3-pointers, and a fantasy point for you guys today. So this one, I cashed it in early. I entered it early here. But Marcus Smart, I still like him at 12.5 on the over. I locked him in at 11.5 on the over. So I like him hitting 13 points today. He's got a 4 out of 5 hit rate. Did not hit against Philadelphia, but he had 17 against Portland, 15 against Utah, 21 against Toronto, and 15 against the Spurs. So pretty good hit rate right there. 4 out of 5, pretty good, 80% in his last 5. So let's take a look at the daily lineup for today. So Marcus Smart starting at shooting guard here. He was originally going to start at point guard, but they switched it around now. So that's kind of interesting. Something to note, I guess. But Jaylen Brown is out, so that's good news for Smart. But they did add Schroeder back in the lineup. I think he was injured. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's why he's starting at shooting guard now. But 4-point spread, which is pretty nice. Should not be a blowout. 219 over-under is also very, very nice. So there should be a lot of points scored. You can also take a look at the spreads here and over-unders. So I really like this a lot today. Maybe try to stay away from overs in this game points-wise. Maybe, maybe not. 210 is still all right, but I think there might be better options for overs because 221 over-under and 219. Those are pretty nice numbers. But Marcus Smart here, shooting guard against the Lakers. Let's see how the Lakers are against shooting guards. So the Lakers are, they're a little bit on the harder side, but it's not really that big of a deal. You want to more pay attention to the number rather than, or you want to pay attention more to where they rank among other teams than the number. But so they're a little bit on the harder side, but not that hard. It's not that crazy of a matchup, but go around about 20.74 points to the shooting guard position. So something to know, but I wouldn't be too worried. But it was a lot nicer locking it in earlier when I thought he was going to be starting at point guard because they were on the 4th most of point guards. But now he's starting at shooting guard. I still think it's a good option. Probably not my favorite of the day, but still a pretty good option. So we take a look at number 5 here, pretty good site for rankings. Let's take a look at Marcus Smart here. So Marcus Smart, they have Marcus Smart projected for 12.7 points. They had him at 13 point something earlier, and they just bumped it down already, down to 12.7. So I don't know, maybe this is when you guys end up wanting to fade or take. It depends. I bet that changed though because of Schroeder news. So yeah, maybe that's a fade situation. I'm not sure if I like it as much as I did earlier when he was starting at point guard. The projections were higher and Schroeder wasn't in the lineup. So yeah, maybe that is a fade situation, but it could still be an alright play. Could work out, but we'll have to see when that happens. But let's go ahead, though, and move on to rebounds here. So let's talk about rebounds, and then we'll go over 3-pointers, then fantasy score. So rebounds here, the one that I like today is Jason Tatum at 7.5 on the over. So 10, 6, 16, 7, and 13. So he's gone over in 3 out of 5. Not the greatest hit rate. We're kind of looking for at least 4 out of 5s. But I wouldn't be too scared of this matchup here. So Jason Tatum, again, the Boston Celtics game going against the Lakers. So let's take a look at here the game. So you should be starting at small forward. This is expected lineup, not a confirmed lineup. But Jason Tatum, small forward here. Let's see how the Lakers are against small forward rebounds. So let's take a look at rebounds here and where the Lakers are. And they're allowing the 4th amount of rebounds to small forwards. So that's a pretty good number. Pretty good look for Jason Tatum today. And a guy who I believe had 11 in their last matchup. So that is something that's pretty good. So he had 11 last time, covered the over by quite a bit. So should be able to hopefully hit again today. Let's take a look at Tatum's rebound numbers here. So Jason Tatum here, they have him at, I think it's 7.7. It won't show us the tab here, but I believe that's the rebound number, 7.7. So that is on the over just barely. So also, I would probably play light today. There's a lot of good numbers out there, but maybe there's a day to go ahead and play play a little bit lighter on. It's only 3 games. They're pretty stingy with their lines. They're pretty good at it. So this is one of the days when it's a bigger game like tomorrow with 13 game slate. It's a lot nicer to play a little bit more, but in games where it's like 4, 5, maybe even 6 game slates, you kind of want to play a little bit lighter. So just putting that out there. But Jason Tatum could be a pretty solid play considering his last matchup with the Lakers and where they rank against other small forwards. So let's take a look at 3-pointers now. We got 2 of them for you guys here. So let's take a look at these guys are both in the same game here. So the game that had the least over-under, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to take a look at Derek White real quick. 1.5 3-points made. 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. So kind of regressing a little bit. I wouldn't be too worried. He's taken so many 3-pointers the last couple of games. Like he had 8 attempted 3-pointers right there against the Suns, and he didn't hit that. So, but when he's taking a lot of shots, that's really good news. The only thing I'm really worried about though is the Spurs playing back-to-back games in back-to-back days. They just played yesterday, so I'd be kind of worried about that. I like DeJounte Murray fantasy points too. I'll just put that out there. But I'm kind of worried considering they're playing back-to-back games. So I might fade DeJounte Murray. Derek White is still someone I like, even with it being back-to-back games. It's something to note, but Derek White here, shooting guard, going against the New York Knicks. So let's take a look at shooting guards against the Knicks and where they rank. So shooting guards, 3-point makes. Where are the Knicks here? Shooting guard. The Knicks. So they're allowing a pretty good amount of 3-pointers to the shooting guard position. So that's really, really good. Love to see it. Pretty good matchup right there for Derek White. So maybe he's a guy that's been taking a lot of 3-points, a lot of 3-point shots. He attempted like 8 last game, like I said, and he's been taking a lot lately too. But he wasn't taking as many as he has lately. So I don't know. We'll see if he keeps that up. But he's just, I don't know. It's a tough one. But I do like Derek White a little bit on the over, considering how many attempts he's taken. If you guys understand what I'm saying. But let's just move on here. Evan Fournier. Also, number 5 doesn't have projections for 3-point makes, so that is something to point out. But Fournier here. Evan. 2 3-point makes. He's covered this pretty well in all of his last 5. So 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. Alternating between 3s and 4s. But Fournier here. Starting at small forward. Man, they changed these around. Because back when I was looking, that's crazy. Smart was starting at point guard. Derek, no, that was the same. He was starting at shooting guard earlier. And then Fournier was starting at shooting guard earlier. They had him. So I don't know. Let's refresh this here. Yeah, they got it the same. All right. Well, Fournier here. Let's take a look at small forward against the Spurs. So 3-point makes against the Spurs. The Spurs are one of the harder matchups here. So 2.3. They're long. I wouldn't be too worried. I think he can at least push in this game. I think he has hit. His numbers aren't that great. If you look at it overall, I think he's hit in 10 of 17. That might be it. Don't quote me on that. But his numbers are still very, very good recently. He's been taking a lot of 3-point shots. Was not like that earlier in the season, so that's kind of good news. But if you look, I wouldn't be too worried about the matchup either, because you take a look at the Chicago Bulls, 2.16, just a little bit harder than the Spurs. He had 4 against them. But if you take a look, 6 games ago, which isn't shown on this screen, he had 1 or 0. He had either 0 or 1 against the Bulls. So I don't know. He's kind of all over the place here. You can't just look at the last 5, but he looks good. But just what I said earlier, play a little bit light today. You could get screwed pretty bad. In these small game slates, they are very, very tricky. More than likely every time. So keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and take a look at fantasy points here, and is the guy that I was talking about earlier, and that is DeJounte Murray. Where's he at? 45 fantasy points right here. So this is a guy who has hit in 6 of his last 6. So we took a look at him yesterday. I think he was in the video yesterday. I'm not sure if I did put him in the video, But I put him on my premium spreadsheet yesterday. He was at 45 fantasy score, and he ended up hitting last night. So that was good. But he barely hit, but he's hitting all of his last 6. So, I mean, that one was a push at 45. Actually, I think he was like 42 yesterday. They have him up to 45 right now. He's still hitting his last 6. So that is good for DeJounte Murray. But again, like I was saying earlier, I'm really scared of it being a back-to-back game. Spurs are not very, very good in the back-to-back games. So just played yesterday. Kind of stay cautious of that. But DeJounte Murray, point guard, going against the New York Knicks. So this is based on FanDuel scoring. So this is the actual scoring that prizepicks also use, I do believe. So the Knicks are... oh, I missed them somewhere. Where are they at? Okay, so they're right there. So a little bit on the easier side for matchup. They're allowing about 47.45 to shooting guard or point guards. I'm on point guards, right? Yeah. So yeah, they're allowing about 47.45. So that's good news. But I'm just worried about them being super tired. So kind of keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm a little bit sketchy on some of these lines today, but maybe we're in for a pretty good day. We'll see. Maybe I'm just scared for no reason. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it, man, for the video. Appreciate you guys watching. If anyone is new, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. Play light today is what I really recommend. Get that from today's video. But there's some that I do like. To recap, though, Marcus Smart points, DeJounte Murray fantasy points, Derek White 3-pointers, Tatum rebounds. Did I ever say Tatum rebounds? No, I don't think I did. Jason Tatum rebounds, and then Fournier threes. So those are the 5 that I had in today's video. We'll see how they do, man. A lot of you guys have been hitting from these videos, so that's good news. Love it. So yeah, that's gonna do it, man. Appreciate watching. See you guys next time. Goodbye.